All right, folks, it is our PNTV game of the day. Hopefully, there will be a spot for us here because we are. All right, folks, I don't know if we're even going to have a spot here today. We are literally pushed all the way back here in the far corner. We are going to have an obscured view the entire game here unless we can find another spot. All right, double pass into the paint is deflected, and Pocola starts hot early in the games back-to-back that we've covered. 2-0 early lead over Howe. Battle of two A teams with too much juice on the pass as a result, deflected by number 21, I believe, in the paint. Pocola will maintain possession of the ball 2-0 early on, 7-14. It is a capacity crowd here today at Pocola High School, not a parking lot spot to be had. Literally parked about a quarter of a mile away just to get in, and everybody is standing all around the sides between the cheerleaders and the fans. Probably an extra 50 or so stand, and hits the shot. And it is a three-pointer, 5-0 lead for Pocola here early on in the first. Jump shot for the Lady Lions, off the mark, no good. Rebound, Parker kicks it out. Double pass, and they'll bring it back up. It was a quick, easy day for Pocola last night. Starters played one quarter, up 33-0, and then the reserves took it from there, playing all three quarters. Second and third string players maintained a 33-point lead, ended up winning by 32, and another three-point shot is good for the Lady Indians. Less than 2 minutes gone by, and it is another fast, quick, lethal start into the paint. Misses the little loop shot, and it is another rebound by Pocola. I'd like to thank CNB, the Central National Bank, and AVAC, Arkansas Valley Electric Corporation, our coverage sponsors for today's doubleheader PNTV games of the day. We will be heading to multiple cities in the coming 12 weeks, doing award presentations for fall baseball and softball players, in addition to scouting out basketball players for the upcoming season. It is in earnest now with the start of the year, and we will hopefully be able to cover teams all throughout the state for you to give you coverage most of the week. 5:50 on the clock. Indians once again with the ball, wide open jump shot, just in and out, no good. Howe quickly snarfs it up, kicks it back out, pass already into the corner. Cross court pass, jump shot on its way, off the mark, no good. Battle for the board will go the way of a jump ball. It'll be possession for Pocola. I'm going to apologize in advance. We're going to have a ton of walkers going back and forth. If you saw the floor from just the angle on this side, this is pretty much true to form on each side of the gym. My options are limited. I've got the corner either with the cheerleaders, a corner with the cheerleaders, corner with cheerleaders and fans, or quarters with cheerleaders and fans. Another missed shot by Howe. Cold start to the game, double-digit lead for Pocola. They crash the board, strips it loose though, and the double pass gets them out of the jam. They fake and go to the hoop and score. And Pocola looking every bit like a top 2 or 3 team here early on in Class 2A. Crowd likes what they see, and they are revved up here. 11 a.m. game. I was wondering if it would be a sparse crowd, and it is not. So obviously people like to come out early. It is only the second home game of the year for Pocola. They'll have a third bill on Monday against Wilburton. Pocola with aspirations to make it back to the state tournament and potential championship matchup. Right now, their nemesis Dale looking well, number 1 in both boys and girls, or at least top 2 in boys and girls. We'll be catching some really hot teams next weekend as well. And looking forward to seeing Hera, Chickasha, Duncan, and Lindsay in action at the Hately Classic. All right, 4:30 to go, almost over the line. Tenacious defense early on is going to lead to the reach-in foul call against number 25. Only the first foul of the game, which is kind of peculiar, especially since the frantic pace. Teams have pretty much played it high and tight thus far. Drives and dishes, whips it across the court, double pass. Going to step on the line. Easy to do that because of just the level of chairs. It doesn't leave much kick space, if that makes sense over there, and that is not a pocket you want to find yourself into. Cheerleaders and the bench is pretty much are all right up on the line, so there's not going to be a lot of extra space in the corners. Stripped loose by Howe, and I believe that's going to be our second foul, 0-0, Alyssa Parker flag for the reach-in. Last night, we recognized both Kylie Merritt and Alyssa Parker with All-State awards, in addition to the Hub Babe Player of the Year. Howe goes to the bucket and scores, gets on the scoreboard. It is a 12-2 lead early. Ms. Parker, likewise, our Young Gun Pitcher of the Year for all classes in fast pitch softball. The Oklahoma commit and signee will be joining a dynasty in Norman. Jump shot off the mark, no good. Crashes the boards. Oh, one-handed pass, nicely done. Just misses the layup, though. Triple pass. So we are coming back. Here comes Parker coming in. Hot scores. And it'll be a potential three-point play. You're going to get more walkers by all throughout the day. Not much I can do about that. It is absolutely jam-packed here in the corners. But we'll do our best to try to get you a good view of the action. Parker at the line to shoot a third potential three-point play, and it is good. Back to a 13-point lead, matching the largest of the game. Correction, is the largest of the game. Pryor up 12-0. Well, if anybody was worried about Pocola being sluggish on a cold morning, that is not the case. They were razor sharp yesterday in a 33-0 shellacking through one quarter against Poto. Starters set the rest of the game out. And I really thought the coach might bring them back in again for at least a quarter, half a quarter to kind of keep them sharp. Instead, they spent the rest of the game on the on the sidelines, and it was the second and third stringers that basically played even. The 33-point lead ended up being a 32-point win for Pocola last night. Parker with an opportunity here to convert back-to-back free throws, or I should say back-to-back-to-back. And now she is a perfect 3 for 3, and another steal. Parker steals, heads to the bucket, and loses possession, posts up, and it's going to be another opportunity for the extraordinary student athlete of the year last year, our Miss Oklahoma, and a finalist for this year's Miss Oklahoma. We have got 13 girls on the list. We'll be naming the 5 semifinalists as we watch them in action. Parker with the unique opportunity to add to her impressive accolades. She'll be adding the discipline of track and field this year for the first ever track squad at Pocola High School. It is so new that they will have to run track on other high schools' home turf. They will have to do all of their practices on another high school's turf. But they are going to give it a shot, and I'm very anxious to see how she does. We have multiple players that are track and softball stars. J.L. Austin from Owasso, Libby J.Q's from Moore, Ella Resendez from Purcell come to mind. So this will give Miss Parker the rare instance to where she could possibly be a 3-sport all-state player. The description I heard of Pocola was softball players that play basketball. That is no longer the case. These girls have become basketball players that simply play basketball and softball players that excel in softball. So Parker has absolutely tore it up here early on at the free throw line. Spins, pivots, throws the shot up. The one from the hip is no good. And we are fastly approaching the end of the first quarter here. Parker pushed out, finds, nice pass to Letty. They absolutely are killing it on peripheral vision, seeing open spots, filling those lanes, and quickly getting the passes off. We're going to have a reach-in foul call. I think the hometown crowd would have preferred a jump ball, and that will be 2:28 to go. 13 foul against Pocola, 4 already for Howe. We had a slow start on the foul front, but as a result, a little bit more aggressive nature, trying to get back in this game, slings it away. Both teams now kind of going a little bit more full kelter. Substitution for Howe, number 21 will head to the bench. Number 44 on the floor. And Pocola kicks it in. I'm going to apologize, folks. There's going to be a lot of background noise. I'm surrounded with people literally just feet away from me, and they are not going to stop talking. So best advice I can give you probably is just silence me and put it on mute. You do have that option even if you don't want to hear me normally. But there's not much I can do with the background noise. I've got about 15, 20 guys just right behind me. Into the paint, just in and out. No good. Timeout called. Howe 153 remains. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage. Doubleheader action, Class 2A basketball. Correction, officials timeout. We have a player down on the floor with a potential elbow to the nose. And so we'll have to stop. If she is bleeding, she'll have to set out for at least a play until they either get A, the bleeding stopped, or B, a new uniform top should it get on that. Looks like she's more worse for wear on the lower extremity than the nose. You know, she took the shot to the head, favoring her left leg, so limping back under her own power to the bench. So correction on that. Officials timeout. Merritt will return back to the floor. She does have a towel, so we'll see if she goes to the athletic room or stays just right there on the bench. So far, promising. Looks to be all right. Just a really hard tumble to the floor. Those of you that have ever been hit and knocked down know that it's not a fun place to find yourself. So they will take her back to the back to check her out, which is a good idea. 1:48 remains. Well, the crowd last night was pretty decent. The crowd today blowing it away. The Howe crowd has traveled. They have packed the entire side of the stands. If anything, they need a couple extra, 50, 60 seats on each side. Jump shot. Three-pointer is good. Pocola is absolutely killing it early on and almost steals the ball. They have really taken it to two teams in back-to-back games. Very impressive performance. It's hard to kind of pinpoint exactly what they're doing that is giving the teams so much trouble because it's everything. Rebounds, assists, passes, shots, threes, twos, going to the hoop. Parker just takes it coast to coast. You're wondering why. She is our defending, reigning Miss Oklahoma as the overall best player in the state. You are absolutely seeing why right here firsthand. Howe will be at the free throw line to shoot a pair. 104 remains. It is the fourth team foul against Pocola. Since it's a shooting foul, puts her at the line. She'll hit the first. New foul tally is it resets quarter at 5, puts you in bonus. So there's no longer double bonus through the first and second half. Parker clears it out, rebounds, splits the difference, 1 for 2 on the free throws. And we're inside a minute to go. In the paint, double pass, scores. Well, I've only been out here 3 times, but this is the largest crowd by far. Takes it all the way, scores. And it is just cat and mouse right now with Pocola. They are smoking Howe 31-3. So in back-to-back games, Pocola 33-0 into the first quarter yesterday, 31-3 with less than a minute to go in the first quarter. What a start to the season for the Lady Indians from Pocola. You're watching PNTV coverage, doubleheader games of the day. Now it's hard to improve upon the start, hard to improve upon the offense, defense, combination of rebounds, everything going the way of Pocola. Blocking out, second shot opportunities, fast breaks, assists, free throws, 3-point shots. They are clicking on all cylinders here early on. Thirty seconds to go, crosses midcourt. Another pass deflected. Howe maintains possession, kicks it out. That one's going to be a foul called. So blocking foul on Pocola, their fifth. That'll put her at the line automatically. Now in bonus. 20 seconds remain. Sinks the first of 2. 31-5, Pocola. Crosses midcourt, dishes the pass into the paint. Posts up, double pass, pivots, kicks it out. Merritt with the 3. Off the board, score it. Wow. Your score 3-1, Pocola 34, Howe 5. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage. Well, how good has Pocola been? Yesterday through 1, 33-0. Your score through 1 today, 34-5. Wow, wow, and more wow. And Merritt once again with another three. And she is on fire. Another successful strip steal. Parker to Merritt. Whoa! That is borderline a flagrant foul. I would assess a technical myself. She tomahawk chopped her all across the shoulder and back. And Merritt will shoot a pair. So opportunity for her to score 5 in a row. Misses the first free throw. And actually misses them both. That is a travel that they missed. In the paint scores. Not being Penny Annie, but they clearly missed that call. She switched both hands and touched it into the paint. Another shot that I think could have been a foul, but nonetheless, letting them play. 37-7 now. Timeout called Lady Lions. 6:52 remains here in the second quarter. It is Pocola 37-7. You're watching PNTV, courtesy of the Central National Bank and AVEC, the Arkansas Valley Electric Corporation. Just a reminder, at the conclusion of this game, we will post highlights of the best plays in action. So if you don't want to watch the entire feed, you can watch about 3 to 5 minutes of best play ball. It is Class 2A day today. Howe versus Pocola last night. It was Poto versus Pocola. Boys and girls sweep in double-digit victories. The hometown crowd will get a nice fix of basketball action on Monday once again. Wilburton will be here. So the 2024 season, no home games at all. None in November, none in December. And then the first 3 available dates in effect in January, they have 3 home games in a matter of 5 days. Or correction, technically 4 days. Howe will kick it back in, struggling to maintain a in-outside presence. Pocola just really timing up on the line. Turnover, like the hustle, trying to reclaim possession of the ball. But Pocola is really pushing the guards very far out along the line. It's going to be a mass substitution package coming in. So 4 players at the scorer's table. Parker blocked Merritt, though, wide open. Just off the mark. Gets the rebound. And travel is the call. So nicely done by Parker. She lets her defensive presence stall the opportunity to get the foot placement down. Now trips and falls, turns it over. So another opportunity in effect, a 4th shot for the Lady Indians. To Parker, pivots, spins, blocked. So she'll get the foul, shooting another pair. If you are a small town fan of sports and you enjoy good stories, I've got a good story for you. In back-to-back seasons, Caddo High School, on way to a 7-peat in softball, have had back-to-back players taken by Oklahoma University and Texas. Miss Katie McKay and J.C. Nichols. First time in school history. Pocola had Alyssa Parker taken by Oklahoma. First time in school history. These are Class 2A and A schools that are hitting the big time. Jump shot just off the mark. I'm hoping that becomes more of the norm. It used to just be that if you were 3A, you had a shot. If you were 4, 5, or 6A, you were favored. And it has really, really changed, and I think for the better as more coaches are starting to participate in club ball, or at least letting their players do it without the shame and guilt and remorse. I know a lot of coaches didn't like it initially, but it's absolutely crucial for the development of players on a national stage for their recruitment, their evaluation, and more importantly, life-changing scholarship opportunities that come not with just some tuition or some dorm or some food, but actual full ride scholarships with NIL opportunities and marketing deals. Just absolutely thrilled to death for our friends at Caddo and Pocola. And in my opinion, OU hit a home run getting both Katie McKay and Alyssa Parker. My only regret would be that Coach didn't have enough paper to snag a couple more players. J.L. Austin from Owasso, Libby J. Hughes from Moore, Junior now Kennedy Allen from Chandler would be another one that I would have, without question, without hesitation, reservation, offered all three of those players. And I think that they probably did. In this particular case, they just want to play ball for Oklahoma State, and nothing wrong with that. So it's not just that OU is getting some local talent, but Oklahoma State doing the same thing. Riley Pogue from Mustang as well. There may be a couple of other players that I've forgotten, and if anybody wants to chirp in, just comment on the feed, and I'll make sure to plug and promote those girls as well. 40-7, 33-point lead. Back-to-back games for this scrappy upstart and now experienced ball club from Pocola. Kind of give you an idea of probably how much respect that Pocola has for this Howe team. They have not taken starters out. They've substituted one or two here or there, but unlike last night's game when starting five set the second, third, and fourth quarter, Pocola knows that Howe is a tradition-rich program and usually a powerhouse in basketball. And we got a turnover here. Nope. It's going to be off the outstretched hands of the defender. 4:42 remains. People just a little chippy to start the game. Double pass, jump shot is up, just off the mark. The last three jumpers by Merritt have been no good. We're going to have a potential. And she's going to pull it back. I thought she might go one-on-one to the hoop. Probably the better play there. Misses the free throw, or the layup, which in effect was a free throw. Didn't charge her anything, and she just swung the ball from the hip. Not a big fan of that style of shooting. Parker fouled from behind. It'll put her at the free throw line to shoot another pair. Very special athlete. Everybody that has had an opportunity to be a small part in her journey, I think, will say the same thing. Very humble, sweet, well-natured, intelligent, hardworking, and exceptionally gifted athlete. I know Mama and Nana are super, super proud. Steal, scoops, scores. Well, that was kind of perfunctory. She made that look about as easy as yawning, breathing, and just putting the ball into play very effortlessly. Largest lead of the game now for Pocola. 37-point deficit. Shocking game. I really thought that this one would be tighter, definitely, than last night. And if anything, it's now wider than last night. Oh, can't keep it. So the turnover, she needed about a 5'7", 5'8" build to get that one. Inside of halfway to go before halftime. Good pass, just a little off mark. Defense read it perfectly. And we'll have a jump ball. Possession favors the Lady Indians. Something to keep an eye on for the quarter. 0 fouls for Pocola. and 4 for Howe already. And another floating block that should have been called. Fans are getting chippy with a 37-point lead. It's very rare that people are just quiet, like angry about it. Another turnover there. They finally get that one right, folks. That's about 3 or 4 calls that have been blown, and they've all been pretty obvious. One girl touched the ball with her left and right hand in the air and then landed and just kept on going. Another one with a shove behind that looked to be pretty, clear to me to be a foul, but it's nature of the game. They're human, and they'll miss some calls in real time, fast action. Shot is good. So that one rings around the rim and comes in as a 3 hot. Well, Howe is going to have to establish something outside because it ain't happening in the paint right now. Should have left that one alone. It's going to give Howe an opportunity for a second shot. Just can't quite get her hands on the rebound. Steps on the line. If not, it just goes off of her hand out of bounds. But having said that, Howe's going to have to start hitting some threes to force Pocola to come out because they are just boxing them in. Rare instance here, 3 different three-point shots and all no good. Possession arrow is going to favor Howe. They will get a 4th crack at it here, the best opportunity they've had in the game to actually impose will and establish a paint presence. It is a 40-point lead, largest lead of the game. Jump shot, no good. That's kind of the reason why Pocola is so comfortable staying in pocket is Howe's not hitting their jump shots. Goes coast to coast. Probably should have passed that one, but it is what it is. Passes into the paint, slings it up, misses the shot, no good. Have actually 2 rebounders there in the same spot. Well, her knee just buckles. The young man right there going places. A 4-star basketball recruit. I've seen him as low as a 3, and I don't agree with that in football. But a 6'8" tight end and absolute nightmare of a power forward or center committed to Missouri. And it'll be interesting to see if he decides to choose one sport or the other. He's allowed to play both. I really think that it's very difficult to play football and basketball unless you're given the opportunity of finishing the football season and then you come on, develop your legs, and you're then in the games due to scheduling and practice and the probability of injury. It's just very rare that players are able to pull that off and play them simultaneously. Just the sheer amount of contact. Little known fact, but OU had the commitment of Jaden Nickens from Douglas, and that's precisely what he wanted to do. He wanted to play football and basketball. They wouldn't agree. Wanted him just to play basketball. And as a result, changed his commit, ended up moving out of state, and now going to a totally different school. And I can't say that I blame him if that's what you want to do, but it's very difficult to get multiple schools to give you that option. I believe he's going to Kansas, if I remember correctly. 101 remains. At the free throw line. So Pocola, precarious kind of choice here. They're going to pull all 4 back. That either tells you they really have a lot of confidence in her free throw shooting or they just aren't going to run the risk of a little brief rally here to end the second quarter. I have to think it's probably a combination of both strategies. She gets 1 out of 2. So they are waiting on them and immediately flex the zone. Going to be a double turnover. Yep. Parker just takes it coast to coast. Scores. Wow. I don't know if she's a true center, if she's just an exceptionally good power forward or just a guard, but she took all three aspects and turned them into a highlight reel. Howe with her first 3-point shot of the game. Going to have, excuse me, a whole lot more of that. Yeah, wide open. So Pocola's been up by as many as 43. Presently a 42-point lead, another turnover Howe. The intention to spread the ball around, costing them back-to-back turnovers, a deep pass into the paint, and one right there at half court. It's really struggling to get into a normal groove. I've watched a lot of Howe games, and I have never. New score through 2, Pocola 52, Howe 10. You're watching PNTV. Well, a supercharged, fast-paced first half. It is a 42-point lead now for Pocola. It was 34-5 through one quarter. A marginally better second for Howe, even though both end up being identical, 5 points apiece. No matter how you slice that pie, just a losing side of the portions. The only good news for Howe, why I say that, is they were successful in slowing down Pocola, holding them to only 18 points in the second quarter. However, that number alone is generally good enough to win a ball game, averaging in effect, 72 points a game. Right now, they just happen to be on target to score well over 100 if they keep this up in the third and fourth quarter. I apologize, folks, for all the people. We are just absolutely just being bombarded with fans here. So you're going to hear background noise, and I will apologize in advance if there's anything said that you find offensive or bothersome. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not security. So just going to go ahead and give you the advice. If it's too loud, just turn it down and mute the volume. Third quarter now officially underway. Immediately deflected and kicks back in. Teams will flip sides. So Pocola will play the rest of the second half down in the corner. So just a little bit farther away for you. Howe with the rebound. So immediately off the get-go, they not only get the stop, turn it over. Here comes Pocola, and I believe they are going to turn it over. So back-to-back errant passes, and the first 21 seconds have resulted in 2 turnovers and 1 blocked shot that goes out of bounds. So slow start to the third. To the hoop. Scores. That one was kind of a systematic breakdown in defense. And another steal. Jump ball is called. Possession is going to favor Howe regardless. So they will get possession of the ball. So not a good start to the third quarter for Pocola. Couple of turnovers. And whips it right down to Parker. That's all she'll need. Goes coast to coast scores. I'm telling you, folks, if you haven't seen her, you have now. Absolutely fantastic shot there. Only the second 3 of the game for Howe, and a shot that they absolutely need. And Parker once again fouled over the back. Oh, I think the crowd thought that they were going to get a jump ball called, and that is the actual call. Triple pass, jump shot on its way, no good. Nobody there to rebound, so a breakdown in lane assignments. And that's about as nitpicky as you can get. 54-15 double pass. Again, another breakdown, second shot opportunity. Those weren't happening in the first, so that is a major change and improvement for Howe here in the third quarter. And potential three-point play coming up. Bowser and at the hoop to shoot. Makes it. Free throw line coming up. Unsuccessful on the potential three-point play. And the block. Jump shot. Off the mark, no good. Back-to-back fouls that should have been called just for the fact that there's a lot of body going on the reaching. But Howe being much more aggressive to start the second half here now. Clears it out with authority. No second shot opportunities yet for Pocola. And Howe definitely much more aggressive. And I think it's definitely showing on their ability to get some shots open. They still just, she's going to do it again. And misses them both. And another turnover, easy layup. Wow, not the start to the third quarter that Pocola wanted. They're actually now getting outplayed. Another foul. I'm shocked that they called that one. They've just really kind of allowed it to get rock'em sock'em here for a second. But I knew that Howe would not continue to play comatose, which is probably the best description of the first half. They are a very talented team. Just really, really shocked that Pocola has taken it to them like they have. Another bad pass. That's going to be another turnover, and here she goes. Lane cleared all the way, layup. Can I fix that? First time of the game, Pocola's had to call a timeout. It is all momentum shift for Howe. They have come out like barn burners here in the third quarter. 4:55 remains to score. 54-23. It is now a 31-point lead that has been trimmed from 43 points, which is the high lead for Pocola in the first half. And another turnover by Pocola. Boy, the shift in momentum has been stark, sharp, and fast. Hal is absolutely tearing it up now. Another foul, shoving the back, and they're just not making any calls correct. I'm sorry, but that was flagrant. It was purposely done. Shoved her from behind, and not even as much as an acknowledgement of the foul. And that's a foul. I mean, literally, there's been about a dozen of them that they've not made the calls correctly. Just really poor officiating. I'm sorry to say it that way, but you can't just allow somebody to gang tackle and maim and maul people. It's a huge momentum shift for Howe, and the crowd, they love it, but it's not football or rugby. So Pocola now tentative. That's exactly what they needed, was to reestablish the paint presence. Parker scores. So it's going to be an interesting third quarter, folks. Parker with the early lead and layup takes it to the score, and it is another easy shot for Alyssa Parker. See, I think in the first half, 25 would have read that, jumped it, stolen it, and it'd have been off to the races. So that is a difference. Much better passing in the third. In fairness to the Howe players, they will continue to play as aggressively as the referees allow them to play. And that's about the only chance they've got to get this, maybe under 20-point lead. They've been very successful in the second half. They've trimmed a 43-point deficit all the way to 31. But implementing the hack a shack strategy eventually puts people on the bench. And it'll be interesting to see if that becomes a winning strategy or a losing formula. And another steal. Nice block out. Wanted the call on the tip-off there, but goes off Pocola's hands. Piper number 25, I believe. Number 15, correction. Backcourt violation. Can't pass it to yourself. It wasn't a contested ball. She just missed it. Another three. And Howe is warming up. So they have now taken it 15 points and cut it. We'll have a timeout call. Nope. Substitution only. Going to have to watch those floating passes. That's the definite thing that Howe has been able to zero in on and actually time and get some steals. Pretty much just gang. Right there's another example. Oh, best looking layup of the game. That was nice. All right, could Howe come charging back? But they're going to have two quarters just like this, where they trim double deficits. They're going to have to go basically 20 more points to make it a real ball game. I knew they would not. Teams trade steals. Oh, too much juice. Parker can't chase it down, and it goes out of bounds. So Pocola does get the steal. The pass almost goes awry again, and have to watch those floatings. One and done, and here we go opposite side. To the hoop. About as easy as it gets. She had a clear path. Oh, passed it, wasn't even looking. Right idea when she was looking, wrong idea when she turns her back. And another steal, another dish, and another foul. So Pocola definitely has a favorite play. They use Parker as a floater on the defensive side and force her in the paint. And then on a missed shot, she's already moving and trying to get the isolation one-on-one. And that is a winning formula that she will pretty much get the advantage 9 out of 10 times. Very few players will have the hype to be able to negate the shots, and she's definitely posted up and done exceptionally well. Lots of fast breaks and just easy. Oh, nice backdoor basket steal there. And she's going to take it all the way. Oh, showing off now. Just absolutely showing off. There's no other way to describe talent like that other than God-given ability. And it is an absolute pleasure to watch this young woman play. 38 seconds to go in the third quarter. Pocola slowing down now for a potential final shot to the quarter. Going to have to get with it. We're down to 2-1 in the paint. Shot is no good, no call. Your score through three. Pocola 62, Howe 32. 30-point lead for the Lady Indians. It is absolute standing capacity. Lots of people could be in the bleachers, but this is unfortunately a part of basketball tradition. Just standing and loitering in everybody's way.